Well, hello, this is Kimberly Brock, and for over 20 years, I've been running my own businesses that have not only been profitable, but personally fulfilling to me. So now I'm on a mission to help other new business owners just like you make money doing what you love too. Now we're going to have some fun, so let's get started.
Well, hello, this is Kimberly. It's episode 255, and I'm so glad that you're here today. We're talking about boundaries. We're talking about boundaries in your business. We're talking about the power of saying no to things. I think it's so hard for so many of you to say no. You want to say yes to everything because you want to do everything. You're creative. You're eager. You're driven. You want to say yes, but you know what? You got to say no sometimes. Today, we're going to talk about it. If you're new, welcome. I'm so glad that you found this podcast. I have no doubt it's going to help you along your journey, whether you're on the idea stage, whether you're starting or growing. This is the place for you. Real quick, get plugged in. If you're just now listening, this is the first time you're here, I have some party favors for you. I have free resources that I know are going to be invaluable to you as you begin your journey. The first thing is I have a spreadsheet for you that has all of my recommended tech, tools, apps, software, and I'm adding to it all the time. I just added some stuff about YouTube today because y'all know I just started a YouTube channel. And so I'm starting to add things that I'm recommending for all kinds of things. So make sure you check it now. That way, if you're looking for something in particular, whether it's like getting a credit card or a bank account, or you want to know what website platform to use, all that good stuff, make sure you check it out. You can bookmark it and then refer to it anytime you're looking for something. Okay. So make sure you get that by scrolling down in the show notes right now. There will be a link to my free resources. So there's a whole bunch. You can pick what you need, whether in the idea stage, starting or growing. I actually have free stuff for you, whatever stage you're in. So make sure you grab those right now. And if you have been listening a while, I want to thank you all so much to my loyal listeners. Y'all are amazing. Y'all are wonderful. If you're here today and you find value in this podcast, would you share it with somebody? Would you share this podcast? So if you go on your day today and somebody says they're thinking about starting a business or they're starting one now or whatever it is, make sure you share the She's Just Getting Started podcast because I have no doubt it's going to help them. Or you can even share it on social media. You could email it to somebody right now because you know it can help them, right? So make sure you do that because that helps spread the word about this podcast. It gets it to more people like us who just want to make money doing what we love, right? So that is it. Okay, on to the episode. Well, hello, friends. How are you today? What is going on? I need the scoop. I need to know the deets. I need to know what's going on. How are you? You getting everything together in your business? Are you feeling frustrated with anything? I sure hope not. You know what? There's always a frustration in business. Can we just be honest for a minute? Like, I can't stand it when people act like everything is always fine all the time. And I'm sitting there going, it's not fine all the time. Can we not act like everything is fine all the time when it isn't? I don't know. There's something that really bothers me when people aren't real about things, you know? There's frustrations. There's hard knocks. Things go wrong. Things go great. But you know what? We got to be realistic about it. It's a journey, right? Well, I'm so glad you're here today. We're talking about boundaries and how to set them in your business, what you should be putting boundaries around in your business. You may not have even realized that you haven't been good at boundaries. A lot of you have never thought about it. And then others of you are like, oh no, I'm terrible at boundaries, right? So I don't know which one you are, but this is for you today. It's a reminder that as amazing as you are amazing, by the way, you can't do it all. You cannot do it all. You cannot be all things to all people. My mother-in-law told me that when I first married my husband. We were talking about something one time and she was like, you can't be all things to all people. I was like, oh my gosh. So, words of wisdom. Mother-in-laws have really good words of wisdom. Don't y'all think? I've had so many little quips and quotes from her. It's fascinating. But you can't be all things to all people. And you can't be all things to all of yourself either. I think we want to be all things. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm committed to my business and I'm committed to being better than I was yesterday. And I'm committed to helping those people that I know I'm meant to serve. I'm committed to showing up. I'm committed. But the problem is when we are committed people, we often say yes to a lot of things. So I want to go through 4 things that you need to have boundaries for in your business. And I want you to hear how it can hurt you by not setting these boundaries. It can really hurt you. It can drain you and actually cause your business to not be successful. Okay. So we're going to go through them. We're going to go through 4 of them today. Okay. You ready? So again, we're talking about boundaries today. We're talking about saying no. Maybe some of you say no all the time. That's probably not good either. However, I think that we have to say no to certain things that don't feel aligned. We really do. I think you have to think about it right now. What is the purpose of my business? And how do I want it to fit into my life? Right? It's fitting into your life. You're not fitting your life into your business. You're fitting your business into your life. We talked about this last week, right? So check out that episode after this one if you haven't listened. You have to think about what you really want by having this business. So many of you just go into it without any real clear-cut vision for your business. Again, that's what we talked about last week. And if you have that vision, then you can make better decisions. Okay, we learned that. Today, here's instances where decisions are going to have to be made, and you're going to have to learn to say no. I'm not doing that. Even though I want to do that, I'm not doing that. Okay, so let's start. First of all, when you have something come up that's going to take you a lot more time in your business, I don't know what it is. You want to start a YouTube channel, you want to start a podcast, you want to offer something new, something that's just going to take you more time. You have to ask yourself, if I give up my time for this direction, does this align with my vision? Is this really aligning, or am I just saying yes because I want to try anything and everything and I want to throw spaghetti at the wall? You have to decide. You have to make a conscious decision about your time. Your time is your most precious asset. It's your time, right? So you have to think. Maybe, someone asks you to do something, or you just want to take on something new in your business, start something new, whatever it is, even just starting your business. You have to say, is this worthy of me giving it my time? And if it is, and you can back it up, you can defend it, then yes, you can do it. But a lot of things that are time sucks are a no. For example, I always talk about this. When I started my podcast, I tried to start editing it myself. It was a time suck. I almost threw my laptop out the window. And I said, no, I'm not doing this. My time is worth more than this. Frustration. And I said, no, I don't say yes to everything. There's different ways that I could be promoting my business that might take more time. I could be doing a lot more things locally. I could be showing up on YouTube every day. I could be doing social media every day. I could have a podcast 5 days a week. There's so many things I could be doing that would take up more time. I just don't think that's aligned with my life. It's not. I'm fitting this business into my life. So I have to consciously think about every decision. Is this aligned? Is this taking time away from the other things in life that are important? So that is when you say no. If it is taking away time that you did not have envisioned for this business, or if it's some really good opportunity and you're like, you know what? Yes, this is worth my time. This is going to really help my business. What you believe will really help your business. Then you can say yes. But I think you have to have you have to protect your time. So promise me today, if you forget anything that we talk about, that you will protect your time, whether that means hiring out, whether it means saying no to things, that you will protect it. Okay? Because I know you have a lot of ideas for your business too that you want to do. And you have to say, what can I say yes to for that idea and maybe say no to? Like me, I said yes to a podcast, no to editing it. Right? So what is it for you? Protect your time. Okay, that's where you have to have your boundaries set up, is with your time. Okay, so that you can actually live the life that you planned with this. Number 2, you have to have boundaries when it comes to collaborations. Now, this one's kind of a weird one. You're like, collaborations, what are you talking about? Well, I'm talking about if you, maybe another vendor, maybe you have a product business and a vendor says, hey, let's do this show together. Let's do a booth. Let's start a podcast together. Let's do this. Let's create a product together. And you have to really ask yourself, is this aligned with my business? Do I have the time for this? And then you can decide whether that collaboration with another business owner or podcaster or YouTuber or whatever it is, or networking event, local event, whatever it is this Is this worth it for me? Is this aligning? Should I actually be saying yes? Just because the opportunity presents itself to you does not mean that you should do it. It does not mean it's a yes. You have to justify the yes. So imagine me sitting on your shoulder going, does this actually justify a yes? Do you have evidence that this is a good idea? Because that's really all you can go off of. You've got to go off the data. You've got to figure out what you're doing, how much time you have, all that. Does this collaboration with this other vendor, company, YouTuber, podcaster, networking company, whatever it is this collaboration worth it for me? Should I be actually doing this? Is this leading me to my goals? Then it can be a yes, and then you can always adjust and not do it later. But please stop yourself. Before you do any collaborations, you say, is this a good one? And if it is and it feels amazing, then you do it. Okay? But you have to have boundaries where you say no, because there's some things you shouldn't say yes to. Okay? Here's another example. Speaking of collaborations, just to think about, I get people emailing me almost every day to be on my podcast. And I've never asked one person that cold emailed me ever. So anyone who's listening, if you cold email me, I'm most likely not going to have you on the podcast. I mostly have clients. And then there's people that I meet that I think are interesting that I'll have on the show. But I just don't, because they don't necessarily align with my business. The collaboration is not really that aligned. It is a little bit. They'll tell me there's some PR firm and they want to talk to my business owners about PR and stuff like that, which I think could be great, but that's not actually where my people are at. There are people starting businesses on the side or out of their home, and they're just getting started. So this podcast is about that. I know what my business parameters are, my boundaries are for this podcast. And so I'll say no. Okay, so that's just another example. It just hit me that that's a way that you could get offers for collaboration that you can say no to. I say no to all of them. For the past 5 years, I said no to all of them. Okay, so first one we said was you need to have boundaries with your time and you need to say no if things are too much time and doesn't look like it's going to be worth your time. Number 2, with collaborations, you have to say no. Maybe working with another company, another product vendor, could be anything, okay? Number 3, with the products or services that you create. Y'all are going to have marketing being thrown at you that you should offer every type of product or service offering in the world. There will be everything from courses to memberships to mini memberships to high ticket programs to one-on-one coaching to starting a consulting business to starting a podcast to starting a YouTube channel. Start doing that. Be an affiliate for this. Be an influencer for this. Show up for this. And it's going to make you crazy. You need to have a course. You need to have a mini course. You need to have all sorts of things, y'all. Y'all are going to have to watch out. You are going to have to be on guard. You are going to have boundaries with the products or services that you create. It could also be the products that you sell. Because like, for example, for me, when I had my product businesses, I always was seeing new products that were super cute for our website that I wanted to sell. But that was actually what got me in trouble. I had too much inventory. So you have to think about it. If you're a product business, am I taking on too much inventory and too many products that this is going to end up costing me? You have to learn to say no. And you can say no right now. It doesn't mean you can't turn it to a yes. So everyone remember that. Doesn't mean you can't turn it to a yes. But you can say no right now to new products and new services. I have ideas all the time for what I could be offering in my programs and doing this. I could do a program for this and that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know what? No. Because it's going to take away time from my flagship program, from Grow Getters, or it's going to take away time from what I'm trying to do. And it's going to eat up my time, my energy. I can't do it. So I say no to myself. I say no to myself that I can't do that right now. Maybe later, but not now. So the products or services that you have right now, whatever it is, you can have a dream list off to the side that says, you know what, later I would love to do this. I'd love to do a live event. I'd love to have a retreat. I'd love to have a retreat off in another state. You can have all of that. But you have to ask yourself right now, do you have everything in place to make that work? Do you have an audience? Do you have enough buyers? Do you have the money? Do you have the resources? Do you have the time to work on it? If you can say yes, then that's great. Then do it. But most of the time, these are going to be no's because they're going to take away from something else that you're doing. But then again, it goes back to your vision. What's your vision for your business? And if it's an opportunity that aligns with your vision that we talked about last week, then you can go forth with that. But you have to just have boundaries in place. I think it's always a no. until you can justify it as a yes. It's always a no. No, I don't have time. But if you go, but wait, I actually want to do this. This aligns with where I want to go. I have time. I have the energy. What I'm doing now isn't working. See, if you can back it up, then you can make it a yes. Is that a deal? Can we shake? Let's shake on that. That unless you can justify it as a yes, and if I was there, could you justify it to me? If you could, then I say go for it. If it doesn't work, you'll stop doing it. No big deal. But I just don't want it to take away from what you're doing now. So again, boundaries, learn to say no. Learn to say no to yourself. It's not just other people, it's yourself too. Okay, so we talked about number 1, time. We talked about 2, collaborations. Number 3, we talked about the products and services. And here's a big boundary that you need to set up for yourself. It's with customers and clients. You have to set up boundaries because there will be some of little tiny percentage that will try to pull so much extra out of you. I remember with my monogramming business, wait, can you do it this way? Can you do this font? I know it's not on your choices. Can you do that font? Wait, do you have more of a teal instead of this like turquoise thread? And things would start getting time consuming. Can you deliver it? Can you gift wrap it? If gift wrapping is within your boundary and you can do it, great. If it's not worth your time, don't do it. There's so many things that customers and clients can do to just keep tugging at you and suck your time. Can you redo this? Can we do it again? Can we actually do another one? I know you don't have a refund policy if you cancel in the first hour, an hour before our meeting, but can we just get an excuse? I mean, it'll be fine sometimes if you want to give a reprieve, an exception for some of your people, but you have to set boundaries and you have to be firm on the boundaries that certain things aren't acceptable and you can say, no, I can't deliver it. I'm so sorry. I would love to deliver it, but I have a pickup day. It's Tuesdays at 10 a.m. You can pick it up from my house, or for when you want to give somebody a quote. I mean, if you're in desperate need and you want to go give them a quote at midnight, but that's not something you normally do, then you can do that. But it's better if you set boundaries and you say, no, I don't work at midnight. I can come at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Does that work? I can give you a call tomorrow. I can email you that information tonight. I can't come by, but I can email it. I can't bring it, but I can take a picture of it. I mean, there's so many things that you can do to put boundaries in place. So remember, it's a no out of the gate until you can say yes, until you can prove that, you know what, I should do this. This is my best client. They're amazing. They've told so many people about, what am I doing? I need to support them. Okay, I'll come later tonight. It's still got to fit in with your vision and your timing and all that stuff. But realize your customers and clients can drain you if you let them. If you let them. It's just like kids or animals. They can do all sorts of stuff, right? It's not that they're trying to take advantage of you. It's that you just haven't set boundaries. So it's a free-for-all. So maybe you're a consultant. Maybe you're a coach. Do you have boundaries in place? Do you say you can post in the Facebook group? You can email me directly. I let my grow-getters and people email me directly. That's fine. It's not all the time. I usually try to say you can put it in the group because my email inbox gets so crowded. I don't want to miss their email. So I have them posting in our Facebook group, and then others can learn from their questions as well. So that's why I set boundaries. But again, it's not hard and fast for my grow-getters because I love them and I work with them and I'm going to help them. They want to email me. That's fine. But I do say things, right? So that's for you too. To think about your business. What are the boundaries that you try to keep things, just to keep things organized and running smooth? What's your reasoning? You should have boundaries in place. Refund policy. If you cancel within this amount of time, then there's no refund, or whatever it is. You have to have boundaries in place. You have to learn to say no. And it's a no every time until you can prove that it's a yes. I hope this helps you today, because so many of y'all do not put boundaries in place. It ends up hurting your business. It drains you. It takes away your time and energy. It makes you spend money that you didn't need to spend. It frustrates you. It takes away focus from the other people that you need to be focusing on in your business. It takes away focus from the things that you need to be setting up and working on in your business. It takes away the focus from the next best step that you really needed to be working on instead of 10 steps from now. Boundaries are so important in your business, y'all. They are so important. I hope this helped you today. I'm so happy you're here. If you need help with your business and you're like, you know what? I'm having a hard time marketing. It's frustrating. I'm really frustrated. Check out Grow Getters. If you're trying to start your business right now and you're like, I feel like a crazy person, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, whether you're starting a product business or service business, I have a strategy for you in the Just Getting Started Bootcamp with all kinds of steps. It's my fast track first sales method. You can check it out down below inside that Just Getting Started Bootcamp. And if you're stuck on your idea or creating a little simple business plan, I've got something for you too. I don't want any of you frustrated. I want you to be able to build your dream, and I want to set you up for years of success. So make sure you check those out below. And also too, reminder, I do help people with their podcasts. So if you are starting a podcast, you like this podcast and you've been wanting to start your own, then you can check out my Binge-Worthy Bootcamp to help you do that. Okay. So anyways, I hope you all are having a great day. Until next time, bye now.
Now, this episode may be over, but our relationship does not have to end here. Head on over to KimberlyBrock.com, and yes, you can get more valuable information for your journey. And you know what? You don't need to go through this alone. I would love to help you. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye.
Well, hello, friends. Real quick before we kick off the episode, I have to let you know about something exciting. I am seriously considering having an upgraded version of this podcast where you get bonus episodes and exclusive content. But here's the deal. I'm trying to decide what that content and those episodes should be. I do have some ideas, and I was wondering if you could vote really quick and tell me what you think about what would entice you, what would be interesting to you to get as bonus episodes on this podcast. For example, deeper dives into topics. Maybe I'm answering questions that many of you ask about starting or growing a business. Maybe even overhearing coaching calls, something like this. It would be a paid upgraded version of this podcast, not very expensive at all, probably just a handful of dollars a month, but it'd be extra content for you to help you along your journey. My whole goal is to help you build your business dream. And I would love to offer you even more because some of you are asking for it. So if you could just look down in the show notes right now, there's 2 ways you can give me your answers. Number 1, I have a Google form with 5 quick questions. It can be anonymous. You just answer them and vote on what would be interesting to you. Or number 2, I have a voice memo system. You can just click it and you could just leave a voice memo with your phone right now and just record it and tell me what kind of topics, what things would be interesting to you behind the scenes, market news. What would be things that would be extra that would be really valuable to you? So thank you all so much. Okay, on to the episode.